to everyone, and welcome once again to Viewpoint. It's your boy here with you, host of the program, your boy, your man. Fix it, Joanne. Yeah, here with you for the full hour. And we're approaching the time when actually this coming weekend is when things are going to get kicked off for the carnival celebrations. But something very important is going to be happening at the village that I want to tell you about. And the Dow Musical Foundation, the head of Dow Musical Foundation, by the way, is here to tell us a little bit about what is being done with the youngsters. It's the 4th annual Calypso, Barbara Junior Calypso, and Road March competition. And of course, I think there's going to be a steel band competition as well. Good afternoon, Dow. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Wendell Moore.
Always good to have you in.
Good afternoon. Oh, yeah. Sure.
So what is happening come Friday?
Coming Friday.
It's Friday.
Today's Friday,
Today's Friday.
Today's Friday, Coming Friday.
I'm
Coming Friday
it.
Next week. I don't know when.
I'm losing it.
Probably on the beach.
You don't have to rub. You don't have to rub. You don't have to rub it.
No, but it's a good question. Though. It's a week in advance. I understand you like a man to plan, but I'm here to discuss or to share, some information about the junior
and the preparations.
For Calypso Band.
Maybe you should start with the steel band competition. That is going to be part of it too.
Of course.
Why did you couple them together?
Well, it's a youth program, and then you have to figure it out like this: the logistics, and you want to keep a steel band separate. Did we reach to that level? As yet, no. So I would like to keep both of them together. So for now,
I think I'm a little bit deceived. And maybe things are not functioning right. Because I started out talking about your boy. Anyway, I was of the opinion that the level of competition would be rather general. I'm talking about the steel band. Yeah, but all of it is going to be youth, right?
It's youth. It's school. Yeah. So, and presently you have, we are the academy school, for example, now where we have that school. We used to have the Catholic schools, CBA, but in St.Maarten, the discussion is to be over and over the same thing. We start, we stop. There's no continuity in certain things. Whereas from the head go right down. Government, school boards, managers. It's not as easy as it looks. But our foundation, we maintain our status and continuing to preserve this art form, do our best with it, so we will have continuity. We don't see it dying anywhere soon, though we still have a long way to go in terms of the support and people who are supposed to come at the helm to open doors to make it sustainable. We thank people for different stichting for funding programs. Yes. That's the way we survive it all. And even that within itself, because, funding is only for a certain amount of period and what have you not. But that's the way that help us here. And in St. Maarten, we're still fighting a lot. And it's just like the same old story, So,
but you would like nothing more than to see it continue, because one of the reasons why you pick it up too as well may have a lot to do with it becoming dormant at a certain point.
Yes, and not only that. Here you discover talents. You discover talent. You're maintaining the culture and preserving the art form, and you keeping the young people busy with something positive. Yeah. I mean, what more we want than that? Where would you rather your child be? I always say it on programs. They're gonna pop bike, and hey, nothing wrong with popping bike. Maybe we need a special park for it, but I'm saying this is something positive. And within this, teaching these children and having classes with them, we find a lot of there's a lot of social behavior and aspects in this thing. And we realize after a few months or a few classes, as you see this particular child who came this way, now they're moving that way. So they're kind of regulating themselves. It's a lot deeper than just the saying, just steel pan, or they're taking a calypso class. I'm so happy with the calypso classes and the way the children gravitate on that, because it's a lot of teenagers.
Mm.
Usually you get the 7 to 8 year olds, and I'm sure Joanne can contest to this, that will agree with me. They're always like the 8 year old, 9 year olds up inside there. But now we had the opportunity to work with teenagers, and it's amazing. We had something like 30 of them.
3-0.
Yes. Now, within that, some of them are gonna have butterflies. You're gonna see the most interested ones. So we work with them, but they were coming classes consistently,
And the talent.
and then teaching them to write. That was the most amazing thing for me. So tomorrow evening, you seeing children from between 12 and 16 perform.
Mm.
And I think that's so wonderful, because most of them in high school, when you go to high school, the mindset here is like, when we go to high school, we don't want to do this no more. And we don't want to do that no more, thinking that they're maturing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And nothing wrong
But
with
it's a
that.
good sign.
But 2-3 years after,
Uh-huh.
they come right back because they miss that.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be no space in between there. When things are worthwhile and worth it, and it's good for you,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be no pause at all. That's as far as I am concerned. But we are happy. No, in typical St.Maarten, I guess all over the world have it too. People are calling for tickets for the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where can I get them? We say it 100 times. It's at Von Darp. It's at Adolphus Richardson. You get it from any DMF members. Some of the participants, they're also selling. So there should be no problem with the tickets. And it's the least expensive show, I would say. It's just $10.
Yeah.
Just $10 for
When I heard the
and
price of the
$5,
ticket, I said, that's reasonable. That should give you a bumper crowd.
Yeah, it's supposed to,
But you still need people to come out and
you
support.
still need
though.
people to come out and support, and this is the well, not the challenge, but a test for us to see, well, how much support they will give our foundation, more far and foremost the participants, because they are the ones that need the ultimate support.
Not giving too much away. What can we expect from these
I think
performances?
within the 4 years since my foundation have reinstated the competition, I think this year was far the coolest, more relaxed. So if it becoming like that, it tells you that you're in a good space,
Yeah.
right? And what helped is that most of these children came up with their own topic. So it wasn't like, we have a song for you, we give it to you.
Oh.
What would you like to sing about? Then we teach them maybe how to get lyrics, how to rhyme. So they will come. It wasn't up to the point where they will do melodies. So there, myself and Baker Jr., we worked them as fast as we could in terms of melody. And I'm very quick in doing melodies for songs. You could bring lyrics, I put a melody to it. And so that was very interesting. They have some very good voices in there. You have some of them who still, that's a challenge for them, but we work with them either way. Okay. I just want to remind the folks that tomorrow, they're coming, you're supposed to cheer everybody on. Of course, some may have the particular person that they're shouting for, but tomorrow you don't want to hear no boos. We have one guy who will sing, and you can boo him all the time. That's forgot his singing name, but he sang a song saying, "I'm singing about the booze," which was double tantra, but and the people was booing him, and because he was really like up the key, and he said, "Boo me again," and they boo when they caught on to the song. That was so funny. I think that was so funny, but humorous. And logic too, and he go like, "Boo me again one more time," then they boo, but they enjoy him. So he's also going to be a guest artist on the show.
Okay.
But as I said, I want to thank all of those participants, even those who may not be participating tomorrow, because they need to hear this. The youngsters constantly need to hear that we put them in that challenge mode, that, okay, you're doing okay, but the challenge on you for you to express yourself and be on that positive note. Because some of them sometimes say, "No, I don't know we're going to do this." I say, "You don't know if you're what?" Because that's when the butterflies kicking in. So what do you tell a child like that when they're doing it? But
what about tickets? Those persons who Can they wait until tomorrow? You recommend they wait until tomorrow?
I
Grab
don't I
them
don't
now?
recommend it because the way I see it from last night actually and this morning, and I just came
Calls.
from the harbor playing entertaining the tourists up there, and they're calling straight. Where can get it? So this is that they're getting jumpy.
Yeah.
So I would say because at the gate you pay an extra $5. So if they could get a
Yeah.
ticket early, maybe some people they want to donate to us. They pay that extra $5. That's
You don't,
also
you don't
what we're
mind.
doing. I don't mind,
But
but we just want to deal with the rush.
Yeah.
And also, reminding them that the tickets are at Von Dorp again and at Dolphus Richardson. And yeah, if they call me, please,
can
if you
get some
call,
tickets.
if I'm in the area, with some time that is one, bring it to me, So if we try to avoid that as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard that way. But these children need your support.
Yeah.
They need your support, and it's going to be lovely.
where it's going to be again?
It's going to be held at the Festival Village. This is the first time, which I think that's the place it should be because the Festival Village is built for that. And it's going to start in the afternoon, 5:30 p.m.
Oh,
And the gate's going to open from 4:30. All right, you can come at 5:30. There will be entertainment. Then around 6:15, we want the anthem to be played, and we start with the steel pan first. Then we go into the calypso category, and then the road march. Yeah.
all right.
So everybody, people's asking, so how about the songs? We didn't hear the songs. Now, I want to tell everybody, you see, other 2 years, all the songs that you might have heard in the past, but I used to dig down in my pocket and actually take these children to the studio and get their songs out. Unfortunately, this year I don't have that privilege to do so.
Yeah.
And I could only do my best, the best I could.
But from the stage though,
from
that would be recorded.
Yes, that stage will be recorded.
And they
That's
will be
something
available.
They'll be available after.
Yeah, okay.
And it's also, and I'm thinking now that I have to make this a special project now, for the 4 years that we have done it, and maybe we even got to go look to get songs from before if there recordings around, and we have to document this thing and put it on one album and get it out there, and then we send it to the radio stations. People will have it. I know one organizer I had who used to work with us was thinking about having all the songs documented and written in a book, have like a little booklet with all the songs. So that's still on the table. I think we should do that. But as I said, I'm so comfortable with myself, but I also realize that you only could do so much.
No, but I was just about to say, you look so calm and collected. I ain't seen no stress like I've seen in the past.
Yeah, I've given up on stress, like to be stressed then. Because it makes no
it
sense.
suggests as well that things are going smoothly.
Yeah, well,
So you can expect a real good show tonight.
But even though things not going smoothly, there's a certain way you still have to carry yourself and be, and I have to do that.
And you are inspiration to them. If you put stress on them, that's pressure. Pressure that is not
Last
necessary.
night they were rehearsing, for example, and I came out. I was very tired, and I danced for them, sing for them. They like to laugh, and then after I said, you know what? I see how they're moving, like they're really handling themselves. I just left. I left, and I said, then my cousin Darnell, who's also he's the
One of the
accompanying them in the road match. He called me and said, hey, cause everything went good last night, no, and then it was good. So I'm asking him, how was this year compared to last year? I said, did you notice anything different? He said, yeah, this year is just like smooth, no headache, no worries. We have to remind ourselves that in terms of competition too, that somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. But to me, all of them are winners because we don't have participants. We don't have no competition. Mm-hmm. So all of them are winners. Now, we're doing this we call this healthy competition. It should be. One or two you miss by points, yes, and this will help and encourage others. But I told the students too that check this out. I say, when I make St.Maarten rumba, I wasn't the king. I wasn't winning a calypso competition then, but it was the biggest hit though. Mm-hmm. So it's not, the stage have its own time and its own reason, and then what makes the difference is how you perform. Because you could be hearing a song good sweet on the radio every day, but if that particular person don't bring it that evening or that and during the competition, then but that doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that maybe it wasn't your 100% at your 100%. But yeah. So I like worry less about a lot of things. I'm concerned, but worry less about a lot of things. Yeah.
All right. So, one final question in relation to what's on your ticket. You mentioned that the finals would be on April 11th. This would be considered an elimination?
No, no, no. This is the finals.
This is the finals.
Yes, we had eliminations before, but we
Okay.
do it internally, meaning instead of asking people to come here at elimination, I do see in the future that
You're going to
it's
have to.
must
Yeah.
by big time, big time. So this year, what we did, and I was also off island. So Mr. Richardson Baker, he was the one in charge of keeping them together. But what I see coming is that these folks will see these outperform, and then they're gonna be okay. They're gonna come ready, and then you say internally we had to choose like, okay, listen, you ready, you good, and some will say I don't think I want to do this year, next year. So we didn't force them either, but a lot of potentials are there, you know, and
So the pool is how much now? How much calypso?
well, we
music
have
will be?
in each category there'll be 9 persons, so there'll be 18 songs rendered that evening.
Okay.
And I think that's very good. And believe you me, out of that 9, you still have to have your heart open. 1 or 2 minutes, I don't know. That's what happened. You gotta push that, you know. You
Yeah.
gotta push that. But they are ready. They're excited. I have the behavior of these students.
Out of this
I
world.
applaud them. Because you know a lot
That's
of times
good
we
to
come
hear,
and say,
though.
young people,
Yeah.
man, listen. If they're listening, and if the parents listening or the family listening, these particular students, I'm not saying the others were too bad, but there was no wahala calling to the African eye, no problem.
Yeah.
There were interests. You call them, they come. Respect.
Yeah.
Only something very slim. At the day of my birthday, which was last week Saturday, you know, they were making a lot of jokes and it was going on. I was like, I said, guys, stop. And they had. But the respect is there. They showed the ultimate respect for Baker and myself and the musicians, and they worked very hard. I was so amused by, in particular, 2 of them that got a song like Today, and 2 days after they had the lyrics don't pack. I like, wow. You know, wow. You know, and some of them having chicken like one contestant participant tell me, Mr. Dow, I don't think I want to do the romance again. I don't think it's me. I said, well, you're waiting now to tell me that? So so I'm still trying to encourage her, like, you could do this, do it. But you know.
Well, congratulations. It's good to hear that they are well behaved.
Of course.
And they are responsive to the advice given, which would help shape them,
Make them
to
round,
become,
you know?
yeah.
Rounded people. It's not just about, as I say, it's not just about them participating. It's just about them coming classes. What they're getting from it.
Yeah.
Positive things they're getting from it. It makes them rounded round people. You can't go there and shout, why are you screaming? Why are you running? Hold on. And if you're singing a particular song, you just can't jump up and ball. So it's discipline, teaching them how to act, you know, how to be. And they like that too, because if by any chance you talk hard at them, they're coming right back. You know,
A lot of times our students or young people are waiting to get that proper advice, you know.
they need it.
And we label them, put them in the same basket as those who are known for the bad behavior.
And we also have those who stands out. And I know one can't call the name to shut them down, but I'm one girl in particular. She comes, she say, I ask, why, how you doing? I'm home. Why are you home in the school time? They send me home because my dress is too short or something like that. So I go like, so you didn't realize that it was too short? I was in a hurry. I say, listen to me. And I give her a lecture. The next day she said, Mr. Doe, thank you. Like, they need that. Yes. Now, as much some people will say, when they're going off track, they say, I done with that and I just talking once. That's their business. But boy, you have to keep talking.
That's the job of a coach. You're doing a good job.
You have to
Tell
keep
people where
talking.
they can get tickets once again.
Tickets at Van Dorp, Adolphus Richardson and Supply Store. Some of the participants, if you know them. And I know you guys going to call my phone. I just asking your cooperation. So, like, you tell me where you at. Like, if you're in the area where I told you where I'm at and you come and you get it, no problem. That's no problem. But for me to come bring it to you, I think we have a lady come here, because I'm busy too. But we appreciate all the support that we are getting, and I cannot leave here without saying thank you to the people who are supporting us, like the KFC, Nagico,
Okay.
and there was one Island Capital from New York, a gentleman that comes here. He donated to our foundation. Many times. If it wasn't for him and people like Nagico and KFC for this particular program, it would make it more difficult for us. And the harbor to the port of St.Maarten, they did their part too. So
You're an
thanks.
expert. You read my mind. That was my last fear. Yes, they tell you anybody you like to support.
They did their part, and they've been doing so over the last 2 years. So we thank them for that.
Right.
There's a couple people we didn't approach this year, because sometimes you feel like you're approaching the same people with the same thing, that go. But next year, 5 years anniversary, we're gonna be out. 5 years anniversary for us.
Yes, taking over the youngsters.
Taking over for so we do that.
Alrighty.
And then also, I know tomorrow is the finals, but I also have to worry about the finals on the 21st. And I really have to be very mindful and careful how I say this, but I have to say it anyhow, because there's some people out there sending messages and say that your son going to beat you, and saying Young Dog is going to handle you. Now, folks, I don't want a controversy in the family. The wife already says she's backing her son. So, everything I sing now in the house, when I see them coming, I have to stop, because they look like they're running a little thing on me, right? But I just want to tell them that I have to show them who's boss on the final. So this is going to be a run. This is going to be not a son-father battle, if you want to call it that, because, I taught him what he knows today. But he told me, Daddy, you teach me well, and I think it's time that,
for me to put you in a rocking chair.
Put me in a rocking chair.
You heard it from.
Yeah. That's the threat talk. He's saying in there. I say, boss, listen, I say you have a father. He in a rocking chair, and he in shape. So, but it's good. I want to congratulate him. I think he should have been doing that long time. And then another son, Jabs, he will be taking part in the groovy competition. So you have 3 of us there participating this year.
Right.
But the Calypso, they have the family on split now. Because you have some going Young Dow and some going Mighty Dow. So I tell them, all right, we have to figure out what's going on. So right now, I like on my own.
Well, let me send you off with a hearty congratulations, and hope that we get a bumper crowd for Friday.
For tomorrow. Saturday. Friday's in your head. What's
Friday's
going on?
in my head, yeah.
Friday's in his head.
All right, folks, let me take a break quickly, and then when I come back, I have a gentleman here that would be, chatting with me. I'm sure you'd like to hear what he has to say. You take care of yourselves, and I'm going to be back in 2 on 2.
I know it's...
Who is going to take us out, but has some important information, of course, to pass on to the public, of course, as it relates to what's happening in this day and age, and the many things that happen. And, first of all, congratulations to the youngsters and what they're doing. And more so, I have to bring in the other youngster that did so well in the Carifta Games. And brought back a goal. Huh?
They leave nothing for me to say.
Yeah. No, the whole point is there's some
that.
focus on our young people. And I think it's about time that we have, we concentrate on some kind of budgetary support for the development of our youngsters. But hopefully we will get there eventually. What say? Because there's so much going on at this moment, and I'm hearing that there might be some shake-up in government shortly.
Well, Wendell, first and foremost, good afternoon to you and, of course, our radio listeners. And thanks again for the opportunity of being on this program. You started off with something very important, and I join you in that, is to congratulate Mr. Naja Wyatt for winning the 800-meter gold medal at the Carifta Games. I will not even go into too much detail because we have heard a lot about it already. But I must add this and say that when I saw the little clip at the last few seconds before he crossed the finish line, and I saw where Jamaica was very close to him, and then it's like he put in another gear, and he finished. And when he finished and he bowed down, I could see he was in tears, and it touched me emotionally also, because what came to mind is he almost did not make it. You know.
You mean to the games?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so it really, honestly, it really bothered me because, you know, I don't want to take time repeating myself or repeating what others have said all the time. Government is totally responsible for these kind of events. You know, and when I heard $17,000, you know, you can't cover $17,000. Or you said, I heard somebody say, yeah, but it's last minute. No, it's every year Carifta Games take place.
Yes.
So there's no excuse for it not being in the budget. But again, I'll leave it for another time because I'll go more into detail because when I saw it, I saw the victory and then I thought back as to what almost didn't happen. You know, it really touched me.
Yeah.
And there's some parents who I know who have children who take part in these sports. There's one I must bring up. There's one with the swimming that took place in Anguilla.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was told by a parent that the pool that normally they use here in St.Maarten is only 25 meters, whereas the competitions are 50. So our children got to swim twice as hard in this little pool in order for them to be able to compete at that level. Secondly,
so facilities. Is an issue.
Exactly. And also the organization where they go and train, they pay a humongous bill. Okay, I'm telling you, in the thousands of dollars a month they have to pay to
Say what?
one of the parents, yes. And the government isn't putting 1 cent into that. So I'm saying, with all these events taking place, what is going on? Where is your interest? You wanted to have a big show when the guy came, and I'm glad because somebody said they wanted them to go to the administration building.
For
but
what?
The person said, no, meet me at Raoul Village. Because you had nothing to do with it. So I'm saying this, I hope, Wendell, I really hope that now they make sure that there's a budget for the swimming, for the run, for all these athletes, because I didn't see anywhere where the flag had Mr. Wyatt's name on it. It was St.Maarten flag they had, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so who got the representation? St.Maarten. Who we made history for? St.Maarten. So please don't let this occur again. People who have organizations, yes, you have to have your act together, but at the same time, government must make sure that they know who the organizations are, how they are spending the funds, of course, because you got to have oversight on those things. Mm-hmm. But don't embarrass yourself by not being able to come with $17,000 out of a budget of a couple
embarrassing
of millions.
themselves, and they're embarrassing their athletes too as well, because you just mentioned about what almost didn't happen because they almost didn't get there.
Exactly.
Had it not been for whatever was done to be able to make it possible.
So I hope this is a wake-up call for all of them. Mm-hmm. Something I want to touch on, and Wendell, is also, and I'm sure you and I and the public who are listening and viewing are feeling the pinch. The gasoline prices. Now, I saw, and when you're in a position, minister, parliamentarian, whatever, be careful what you say, because people sit down and analyze things. The Minister of TR said, yes, they just calibrated some new pumps on the Bush Road. You read it in the paper, right? Mm. Okay, you calibrate new pumps on the Bush Road. And what?
Yeah.
Why do I say and what? What about the other pumps? What about the other? Are you checking the others to make sure too that they meet the requirements? Are you doing this? Secondly, said here in the paper, I didn't get a chance to read it thoroughly, that they are following, and let me paraphrase, what's happening overseas or in the world. So let me ask this question then. If I have a reserve of, I order gasoline, I'm the gas station, I have a reserve of maybe, let's say, for two months. The price goes up. Am I allowed to use the old reserve and increase the price because I didn't buy it for that new price? Who's controlling that? And I was told, let me tell you what I was told. Let me tell you what I was told. I asked it before. Yes, but when the price goes down too, they have bought it for more, so therefore they lose. It's a give and take.
Wow.
That's the answer I got.
That's
what
weak.
I got. It is very weak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm saying if I have a reserve for 2 months and the price goes up once or twice, I'm not allowed to increase the price because I'm still operating on the old reserve. Yeah. You understand? But then what I do is you and I got to pay extra. And it comes back to Wendell right now as to the supermarkets. I mean, I read where the minister said they're busy finding solutions, but they got to be careful because any decision that they take to cut taxes and subsidies and so on will hurt the stability of the country going forward. And I'm saying, so Bahamas didn't cut anything, feel any pinch. Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Antigua, Anguilla, are they going to feel a pinch when they cut? So what? For me, that's a very lousy excuse.
Coupled.
You know, it's not good. What I'm saying, as we speak, Wendell, they still have not told us what measures they're going to take.
Yeah.
They're busy studying. February 28th, the war started. I called in this radio station, I think the following week, I said, do you all have a team together? Are you going to sit down with the churches, with the NGOs, with SOL, with GB, with the supermarkets and so on? Are you going to do this? And now you're telling me you just put a task force together to look into what? And now you're telling us that it's going to cost you? So who it is paying the taxes is not we?
I hate to sound stupid, but it sounds like that's saying nothing. Because you got to bring plans. You got to bring plans forward. If you're going to address it, come with your strategy, at least temporary measure, and then when things changes, then we go back to normal. And the thing about raising these prices, they don't usually come back down at the volume of which they raise it.
But who ensures that it goes back down, Wendell? Nobody does it.
Well,
You see, and it has been going on, and that's why I said it's like repetition over and over again where you say something.
Yeah.
They know what they have to do, but unfortunately, they're not doing it. You know, and I always say the St.Maarten people are very nice and relaxed, but I think it is time to get a little more aggressive, not violent, because you know we don't need to be violent to get what we want done. We need to come out in mass,
Yeah.
and that's what governments respect is mass. You know,
I have to give you credit, though. You're not even in parliament or in government anymore, and you felt that as a citizen, you were obligated to give voice to some of these concerns because nobody else is saying anything.
you know, Wendell, and indeed, I do feel obligated because the fact is, I don't have to be in politics or whatever to do so. I voice my concern like some who call in the program, some call in. If I get a chance to come, I come and do so because I believe it's important to keep on the minds of the people, wait a minute, this is happening. What are you doing? Because it concerns you,
Yeah.
you know?
What about some of the developments? Have you been keeping an eye or have you been following the developments in terms of the possible shakeup that might be coming in government?
You know, let me say this. It might sound, what word should I use for this? I am not interested in that. And let me say why. For me, that should not be the concern. You know, we heard they were taking motions to send home this one, send home that one. Beautiful. You send them home. What plans do you have for us?
Well, that's it.
You know what I'm saying?
But for the same reason,
exactly.
MP.
So that should not be a priority. You know, I mean, I don't know. Let me tell you how
It's
the
taking up all the energy.
Exactly.
And it may very well force us back
To elections.
to the polls again.
Exactly, and that's something that we
So-
don't need at this time. You know, so your brother, and that's one of my thoughts. I said, wait a minute, I want to hear what is happening with the cost of living, what is happening with SOL,
Yeah.
what is happening with GB. You know, what's going on there. That's my concern now, not whether government is together or not.
Yeah.
You work on that later on, but right now, your focus should be me, the people of St.Maarten who's paying your salary, as to what it is you're doing for me now, not tomorrow, right now. And as far as you and I know, a lot of talk, no action.
Can I just remind you that with what's happening in the world and it's affecting gasoline prices, that is understood. But there might be a domino effect where, not there might be, there is going to be, because it's going to cost more now already. The same ministry theater has already mentioned that there is going to be heavy increase for container fees and stevedoring and the whole 9 yards. So it's almost like she's prepping people to get ready to pay more. What about the salaries?
And you see, and again, you know, and I wrote an article many years ago, about 6-7 years ago. And I don't remember the title. I wrote down, I said, minimum wage increase, but. And when I put a but, some folks were upset because who doesn't want their salary to increase? But my but had a reference to the food costs, the food prices. Because what you'll hear, yeah, but if I got to pay out more, I got to increase. No, Wendell. So I'm gonna increase my salary. I'm gonna get an increase in salary, and then in the supermarkets, they're gonna increase the price. What does that do for me? Nothing. And that's where government has to do its work. And we get the same excuse: capacity, no money. Look, Wendell, stop telling us the same old nonsense all the time. We hear no capacity, no money. I can say it a million times. Who get upset? I really don't. It doesn't matter. Stop paying Hollanders 13 to 14 million guilders. Look, as I said,
we didn't
let me
make
say
a
this.
commitment to do that.
What commitment, Wendell? You apologize in July. You apologize in November. The former Prime Minister, Mark Rutte now, who is whatever it is for United Nations Secretary General, apologized in July of I think 2023. And then in 2024, the king apologized and so on. I don't want no apology now. Okay, apology fine. Accepted, not accepted, that's not my concern. Then you're going to put aside 200 million euro to do research. Research for who? I don't want no research done. And you do it. You know what I'm saying? Give my 20 million so I can write off some debts that I have. Give it to me. Give me the cash. Don't tell me you're going to do a research on what? All our information is in your museum. Holland has them. You think they didn't take a record? They're one of the best record keepers in the world.
So
the 20 million is to build a museum and to do research, Wendell. No, Wendell, I don't want that. You do that on your own. I want the money. I want a debt cancel so I could take care of my people on St.Maarten. Because you can afford it. I think I said it already in this program.
So that payment you say is used in a certain amount of financial resource?
It's every year. I think it's paid every October. So they got to put it aside when October comes in order to pay it. Now, you and I don't know whether it's on target. We don't know whether the government is paying it. Do we know? I don't know.
Yeah.
I would like to hope that they're paying it October when the time comes. But my thing is, I would not pay a cent because, again, I can't mention who it is, Wendell, but the individual who I heard said that they would not pay it, I can't call their name. Because the position that they have, I mean, it would not be good on their side. But they said plain, they said, I won't pay it. I won't pay a cent, you know. So I'm telling my colleagues, former colleagues, don't pay it. The complaint right now here is, yes, the budget, and you got your budget, you got to cut. Where do you cut? Medical, this, you OSSV, a company that I heard the minister and the parliamentarian, Mr. Omar Otley mentioned, as a question, the same questions, how much do you owe SSV? How much does SSV owe the medical center? The same
vicious circle.
All the time. And I'm saying, when it's going to stop? Don't pay. That money, don't pay it. And for me, it's chicken feed because what you owe runs in the hundreds of millions of dollars that you owe to the local institutions, like SSV and other institutions you have to pay. You're not paying them. But you're forcing to put aside money to pay a country, the fourth richest in Europe, who is putting 10 billion euros into defense, who's trying to get our young people. I understand parliamentarian Durang about, and also myself just about getting the youth with the army and so on. Sounds nice and good and so on. Okay, right. But in the meantime, partner, all the shortcomings we have right now, the statement about our budget and the CFT and so on, for me, Wendell, and I know you might not agree with me, put us aside a little bit, partner. Let us see what is African St.Maarten. I don't want to be told to do something that is hurting me because you want to keep me within a particular circle. And I think they're saying, we're going to talk about constitution. I want to get into that matter there. So because I listened to, what's his name? Mr. Dr. Julio Ramde, I think was in the program,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And, he and I just have some good discussions. I personally don't believe in a constitution that is telling me that because I'm part of a kingdom and they are the majority, they come to human beings and so on, people of population, that they decide. Then you decide for that. Then there's no democracy.
Yeah.
That is top bottom partner. You know what I mean? So, and I understand what he's saying, and go with law. I also plain, and I love this book. I'm going to keep it for sure and read it and get back to you on it. My thing is, the President of the United States of America has proven that democracy is who has the power to do whatever he or she feels like. And that is why we are right now should tell ourselves, if this isn't working for me, I'm not going to do it. Laws are things put in on paper, and they cannot come to fruition unless you execute them.
Well, let me just say, as far as the Constitution is concerned, that it is left up to our legislature to make any amendment that they feel should be made to some of those articles.
Yeah, amendment. Then you need, I think, 2/3 majority, and it has to go to. I mean,
It should happen in our legislature.
Yes, but when it
if
gets
they
to the
think
governor,
something should be in the Constitution and they can word it and make it an amendment, the great United States have several amendments to their original
yeah,
Constitution.
but who has to approve it? Suppose it doesn't.
The Parliament,
No, but suppose that Netherlands don't agree with it.
if it's conflicting with the Netherlands, then if it's cultural,
That's what I'm
if it's
saying.
cultural, there's a difference.
What can we do to conflict with the Netherlands? Let me use this term, economic wise.
With the statute
can't
of the
borrow.
kingdom.
Look at that, 1.2 billion so-called, even more because we borrowed another 35 million some time ago. So 1.2 billion, almost 2 billion guilders, not even dollars neither, guilders. How is that going to affect the Netherlands? That's a drop in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? And even though we go and borrow money, we can't pay it back. We could, how much we would borrow? Maybe 10, 50, 60 billion to be able to be in problem, which can never happen. So what I'm saying, they nonsensical excuse about, yes, we got to be careful if we borrow because we're going to affect them. No. You said you're sorry for slavery. You apologize. You talk about a comma. I've fallen in behind a comma. I'm not paying anything. And whatever it is I have to do financially for my people, I'm going to do it. And if you don't like it, then let's see what's going to happen. Because the fact that you have United Nations there, a paper tiger, because the president of the States proved that it's a paper tiger because they can't do him nothing. He's a powerful man. He does what he wants. So I'm saying, Wendell, we got to look at what is good for us, not what they have told us to do. You know what I mean? And my thing is, if they were working on our behalf, I won't mind. But that's not happening.
Yeah, but if you are in a monarchy, one kingdom, you are all part of it.
But Wendell, the president just says it was part of the United Nations. Who's stopping from going into Venezuela and attacking Iran? Did he ask anybody? Did he have a United Nations meeting? No, he went on his own. Why? Because he's powerful. So now because you're big and I'm small, I can't, I gotta swallow what you do. No. This is not good for my people. I'm gonna do otherwise.
Should we carry out a rude child concept, or should we tell them plain that we want out and we want to handle our own affairs?
No, not rude child concept, number one.
Yeah, because you're saying.
Let me answer. Number one, the debt, I'm not paying it. That's number one. Okay? Secondly, if I want to make an agreement with anybody, I do it. You telling me who I can't join, I can't go to CARICOM unless I get your permission because it is foreign affairs? Come on, Wendell. No. We decide that's we got to work together. What does St.Maarten need? X, Y, Z, and we work towards that. Without restriction from what they say because we're the kingdom.
The MP, that calls for internal consultations among ourselves.
But as I'm saying, it starts with us first.
But we have so much discrepancies in order to be able to function
our priorities are,
as a majority.
Our priorities are where they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what I can do, forget about it. Let us think about the people first and foremost. Don't just say it, but do it. And Wendell, we know St.Maarten has potential. St.Maarten has what it takes. But this infighting and disunity because of, and let me use this because I was in it, dumb politics. You know, apparently the trademark is not about what I can do to help St.Maarten, what I can do to make myself shine and make sure I get better next time. Wendell, I've never been in that part.
What part of this discussion you think the average citizen should take from what is being said? Because I don't know that those persons who are in politics and listening to you, they're not ready to even bend in that direction where you're coming from with what we should be busy with and the energy that we are putting into other things. Self-development and what is good for self. Basically, that's where we are at because the country don't seems to be moving in any direction. It's pretty much stable within the Kingdom of the Netherlands as is.
Yeah, let me do a complete 180 or 360 and 180 before I answer that, and I know time is running out. The people of St.Maarten has to first and foremost behave responsibly.
Who the
people of St.Maarten, yes. The way you drive, the way you throw garbage on the road, the way you park, where you stop, you know what I mean? Let's start there. I mean, the Constitution talk about what government has to do, obligation, but I hope it's here. What is the responsibility of the citizen? What are they doing? When I on the road, I'm looking and say, but they blaming government for that? burger thing fly through a Pizza Hut box fly through. That's government fault. You know what I'm saying? You stop in the middle of the road, you talk to somebody, that's government fault too. You know what I'm saying? You drive like a maniac on the road, that's government fault. That's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to government. Stop blaming government for things that you could do yourself.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
MP, that's not going to come from citizens on their own.
But-
You have to have an enforcement of whatever kind to be able to develop that behavior.
let me say something that might sound very strange. Enforcement, and this is me saying this now, maybe it's 30%. Out of 70 is individual because the police can't be everywhere. You see, and that's why even look at the U.S. Big country, you know, all kind of money. I mean, they have $28 trillion in debt. You know what I mean? But they could print money. I know for how long because things are changing a bit. They themselves can't even control things the way it's supposed to be. So I'm not even going to go there. It depends on the citizen's behavior in order to bring down these things, and then the law enforcement can do what they can do. But right now as it is, government, law enforcement can't do it the way it's supposed to be. We got to start with ourselves. If we do that, Wendell, we put pressure on them to because they say, wait a minute, you know, you can't. So, you know, but you see, if we say ourselves, then it's like you take me into the Bible. God says He's not willing that any should perish, yeah, but that some would come. In other words, as much as you try, you will always have those who don't behave. But you're hoping that the majority will behave. And that's what I'm saying is, those who are listening, look at yourself and what can I do in order to improve this economy, morally, or financially, whatever. Pay your taxes if you have to pay them. Pay your debts if you have to pay them. You know what I mean? Don't tell Wendell I'm going to pay him tomorrow and then you can't find it for a whole 6 months. That's human behavior. That's nothing to do with police. You understand? Has to do with your behavior and mine. And when we understand the responsibility, if I tell you, Wendell, I'm going to come here tomorrow, X, Y, Z, I'm going to be there. If I can't make a call, say, Wendell, I'm running late or whatever. But the morality and the respect is what is lacking.
And you really think that individuals can do it on their own?
Don't you do things on your own? We
Well,
all do. See,
I
it's a
think
matter of
you need
choice.
some support though in
No.
terms of what you can do to aid such change of behavior
And that's
that you're asking
but
for.
you know, that's unfortunate. That you imagine, I don't need the police to tell me, you understand, that I have to go and pay for my number plate. I don't need to tell me I have to go pay for my insurance. I don't need. They got to run behind me. Something that's irresponsibility. You're not being responsible as a good citizen. And as I said, it works two ways. Not only the law, it's also we as individuals. And I know
So
it's not easy.
you
but I
put the
think
blame
that's-
squarely on individuals. Then.
on all of us. When I say I'm talking about law enforcement and individual, because every one of us got to do our part.
Yeah.
You see, and that is unfortunately not happening. People are very aggressive, and you know, we're on the road every day. I mean, yesterday a guy passed I'm on the right hand side to make a left, and the guy passed me on the same side and gone, you know, and I'm like, what is
Well,
this? You know, is that law enforcement? Is that the government's fault? No, that's you.
No, of
You
course
understand?
not.
The guys on the
Of course
on the
not.
one
But
wheeler.
if you can dish out some
And-
fines
yeah,
for
but how
people
many-
who do that,
we got the same
that would
problem.
help them to change their
Yes,
behavior.
but again, we go up to the same old thing. To there's not fines, you got to be there. And if you're understaffed, then you have more important things to do than to run behind somebody on a motorbike. You see, because you have more serious crimes to deal with, and that's where we have the issue and so on. So, yes, more boots on the ground, I would say, but
Would
at the
help,
same time,
would help.
yes, that would definitely help. Visibility will help, and of course, it'll cut back a bit. At the same time, our behavior too has a lot to do with what is taking place.
But we are very liberal, you know that. Pretty
let me
much
say this.
everybody's left up to himself to do whatever they feel, even though it's wrong. They still go ahead and do
We
it.
have become very liberal, I think, on the Dutch. Too liberal in certain things, you know what I mean? But it's another matter when they discuss, but that's for another time concerning the United Nations. When Ghana brought the resolution concerning to declare slavery a criminal against humanity or whatever, Holland walked out. You know, Holland didn't vote, the US didn't vote in it. They walked out.
But still they say they were sorry.
Saying, and what?
And maybe they don't mean it.
Well, I agree the latter.
MP, would you come back and talk to me?
Of course.
Yeah, let me make some time for you next week.
Yes,
We
yes,
can get in some other stuff
Oh,
because we
definitely.
didn't have enough time today
Definitely,
to really
yes.
touch on a lot of things.
Thank you, Steve.
I do agree with you that most of us, if we can do better, we should really do better. But such is the nature of mankind. It's easier for us to do wrong than to do that which is correct.
But let me say this. If we who say we are believers in Christ live what we're supposed to live, then those who looking at us will also follow.
And that will be the final word for today. I want to thank MP
Thanks again.
George Pantophlet for coming in again. He is a former MP. He liked me to say that. But, once an MP, always an MP. All right. Today's Friday, so we are actually into the weekend. I want to thank all of you for your support throughout the week and throughout the month, or whenever you do. Come back and join me next week for another hearty discussion right here on 102.7 at 12. That's it for today. Over to the Joe and I go, and then over to the newsroom. You take care, folks. Goodbye.